A recent report says blacklisted Chinese telecom giant Huawei has ended in-person lobbying operations in Washington, D.C. That's after spending over $13 million on lobbying over the past decade. But is the Chinese company going to be gone from the U.S. political scene? We spoke with Casey Fleming, CEO of Black Ops Partners, about the news. Casey Fleming, thank you so much for joining us. Great to have you back on the show.
Thank you.
Chinese telecom giant Huawei has ended its lobbying operations in the U.S. Now, this is after years of maintaining a presence in the U.S. despite being blacklisted. Now, how significant is this move? Is this a win?
It's not really a win. It's a political move. If we think that they've ended lobbying, they absolutely would not. That's not part of the CCP's plan. So they will tell you that, but they will use other methods to get their lobbying accomplished. That's from someone who's been doing this a very long time.
Now, Huawei has spent over $13 million on lobbying over the last decade. That's according to federal filings. Now, is it becoming harder for foreign companies to lobby in the States, or because of these global tensions that we're seeing, or is this just a one-off case with Huawei?
It's from what we're seeing with our companies and our businesses and the folks that we consult to. This is not the standard. Lobbying is in full force. It is full on. And this, the ban really caused this piece of it. So you have to understand, China, which is also the CCP, they say that water finds its way down a mountain, whether if it comes against a rock, it'll go around that rock. So you have to understand that's the way they think and the way that they operate. And so the point is, if there's a ban on lobbying or a ban on Huawei, they're going to go to other methods to get their objective.
And now for more than a decade, officials in the U.S. have been warning that Huawei has the ability to spy with its gear. This is also following multiple reports of Huawei gear close to sensitive U.S. military sites. Now, do you see this notice of an end to the lobbying as a result of greater awareness of the CCP's infiltration and espionage?
Yes, the ban does state or infer that we're waking up to really what Huawei is all about. You have to understand, Huawei is the technology backbone to the CCP strategy of influence, espionage, and infiltration. So Huawei is that piece of it. And don't forget Huawei's origination, okay, where it came from. Huawei was born out of stolen IP and data from Northern Telecom, which was the AT&T of Canada, the largest employer of Canada, and the oldest employer in Canada, and they were founded in 1895. So Huawei got its beginning from absolutely stealing all the IP and data and basically murdering a company, which was Nortel, Northern Telecom in Canada.
Now, on your note of water always finding a way, one of the lobbyists who's left Huawei is now working for Gotion. That's the battery company with ties to the Chinese Communist Party that's making headlines in Michigan. Now, what would it take to ensure that Americans' national security isn't under attack while also maintaining America's mixed economy?
We're at the point right now where there's a couple of things that need to happen. Number one, Americans need to vote for candidates that are going to end all foreign influence, whether it's financial gain, influence gain, it doesn't matter. But we need to stop foreign influence from affecting our government, our businesses, and our real estate. If we can't buy property in China, why can they buy it here? If we can't influence the Chinese government, why are we allowing it here? If we can't influence Chinese schools, why can they do it here? If we can't access the Chinese internet and influence their people through social media, why can they do it here? So you have to understand, why are we allowing that? Why are we allowing it as American citizens, each American citizen, and why are we allowing our lawmakers to allow it to happen? It needs to end. And the violation for that needs to be treason. And there needs to be complete ban, federal law. And if you violate the federal ban and federal law, then it's treason, because we're talking about national security now.
Casey Fleming, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you for having me.